So in order to convert our text to shapes, first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have the exact right font and we have the exact right size and we have the right color and we have the right curve style and everything is set up just exactly the way that we want it to be. Because once we convert to a shape, we lose all the editability of these effects and it becomes much more difficult to make these types of changes once we're in shape. So generally, take your time, make sure you get your text exactly the way you want it. And as you can see here, I've made some changes to the text since the last time you saw it. I changed to Curls MT, which is a font I have on my system. I changed the point size to 72 point. Now, 72 point is significant. The reason why is because there are 72 points in 1 inch. And that's basically the idea of point sizes, is that 1 point is 1/72nd of an inch. Of course, different fonts don't necessarily honor that, but the idea of what a point is 72 points is an inch. Now, I also made sure that I was using the curve ribbon and I changed the curve here to match what it was that I wanted to have happen. But I want to point out to you that the shadows and any kind of blurs will not translate over into our shapes. So we can only do just basic text, but we can have our curve style that will work just fine. So in order to convert our text layer to shapes, we come up here to this little flyout menu in our shapes palette and we go convert text to shapes. When we do that, immediately everything is converted over to shapes and our text tool no longer has any ability to make any kind of changes to this. If we come over here and we choose our shape selection tool and we come down under this text is cool group, you'll see that we actually have a number of different shapes. We have one for T, one for E, one for X, one for T, and then we have 2 for I, for the is. Now why is that? Well, if we come up here to our layer adjuster, and then we click on that first eye, you'll see that there's one shape here for this top part, and one shape here for this bottom part. Likewise, if we come all the way to the end, you'll see that there's 2 for the exclamation mark, one for the top, and one for the bottom. So that's important to know when you're thinking about how these are put together. As far as the font itself goes, that's exactly how these were made. Other times you might see in particular fonts that these might be what we think of as compound shapes, meaning that there's holes. Now, because of the way this font is made, there are no holes. Everything is an open shape, so we don't have to worry about compound shapes here, but generally speaking, that might be something that you would be thinking about. Now, of course, if we wanted to make changes, let's say we wanted to make a change to this T right here. So I'll zoom into that T, and then I'll use our shape selection tool, and I'll come down and I'll make sure that I'm on that T. You can see that these are made of points and curves just like any other shape. So if we click on the curve, like so, you can see that we have the ability of editing that curve and changing the font to be whatever it is that we'd like it to be, to customize it and make it our own unique creation. And in this way, you have the ability to do some really, really interesting things. Now, in addition to that, we also have the ability to come in here and assign different fills and strokes to these and stack these up just like we would stack up any types of shapes. So generally speaking, this technique of working with your text until you've gotten to the point where you're ready to convert it to shapes and then modifying the shapes using your select tool and maybe even your convert corner point and maybe the scissors and just creating brand new creations with it is really powerful to use alongside your shape tools. And you can create some really, really fun stuff using the text and the shape tools together.